Hello, everybody. I'm Jackie K. Cooper here with
AG the intern. Hello, everyone.
And let me tell you, Amber, people love lists.
They do.
They want to know what's your favorite top 5 this, top 10 this, whatever.
Right.
And so I decided that I would make it my top 10 Westerns.
Okay.
And, that sounds easy. I mean, they're classic Westerns, and you could go through and do all this stuff. Not too many modern Westerns.
Okay.
So I thought over this long and hard. It would probably change if I went back next week. I probably think something. No, I should have included that. But as of right here and now.
Yeah. In this moment,
this is my top 10 list.
All right. Let's get to it.
Number 10.
Okay.
Number 10 is not your typical Western because it's a comedy by Mel Brooks, and it's called Blazing Saddles. And look, folks, she hasn't seen these movies.
No, not a single one.
No.
Who's surprised?
Blazing Saddles came out in 1974.
Wow. Jackie, how many years was that before I was born?
Well, it was 47 years ago, and you're 23, so 24 years before you were born.
Wow, that was really quick math.
How about that?
I'm horrible at math. Look at you.
Look at me.
Good job.
But Blazing Saddles was a comedy. It was kind of risque for its time. It starred Cleavon Little, Gene Wilder, Harvey Korman, who was on the Carol Burnett show. People know that. And a brilliant actress named Madeline Kahn. She plays a saloon keeper or that type of woman. And she is hilarious. And she was good in so many of Mel Brooks' movies and had a short career. She died of cancer at a relatively early age. But this is the classic comic Western. So that's number 10.
That was a good number 10. Good one to start with.
Number 9. This came out in 1965.
Jackie.
I was there. I was 24. But it's Cat Ballou. And this was a Western that starred Jane Fonda in her prime.
I know Jane Fonda.
You know Jane
I'm
Fonda.
aware of Jane Fonda.
Hey, look at there. Ta-da! But she was in her prime. She, had made Barefoot in the Park. She made Cat Ballou. Cat Ballou was about a school teacher whose father's killed, and she takes revenge, and she becomes an outlaw. And Lee Marvin is a drunken cowboy who helps her. He won an Academy Award for his performance in this movie. But what's funny, too, is in this movie, every once in a while, after so many minutes, Nat King Cole and Stubby Kaye will come out with their banjos and sing like a little recap of of the movie. It's just like a Greek chorus set to music.
Yeah.
But it's one of my favorite movies. It's certainly number 9.
All
fits right in. Number 8, you've heard of this movie.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. But you know the modern version. My version came out in 1969.
Goodness gracious.
And it was called True Grit.
Yes.
And you've heard of John Wayne.
Yes.
John Wayne starred. And he won an Oscar for his performance. It was at the very end of his career, and he starred with a young woman named Kim Darby.
Okay,
it was just great. She was the woman who hires the retired lawman for a mission. Glenn Campbell, a musician. I think this was the only movie he ever made, but he was in it. And it was so good and so enjoyable that they remade it later with Jeff Bridges, Matt Damon, Haley Steinfeld.
And that's the one that I know.
That's the one that you know.
And
But my number 8 is True Grit with John Wayne.
All right.
Then, number 7 is a film that came out in 1993 called Tombstone. It starred Kurt Russell as Wyatt Earp, Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday, and Sam Elliott was also in the film. And if I remember right, it was the chemistry between Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer's characters. They were just buddies who defended each other. And the famous line is, I can't quote it right, but somebody can write it and tell me. But it's like Doc Holliday says, "I'll be your huckleberry," which I don't know what it means, but it was in the film, and everybody would just quote that line. And it was just a great Western. Kurt Russell could make good Westerns.
Yeah.
He's one, Goldie Hawn's partner.
Okay.
Ha-ha. Yep. Goldie Hawn, Kurt Russell. Yeah, they're not married, but they've been together forever.
Okay.
And they have two sons, I think. And then that's Kate Hudson.
Yeah. Okay. I'm on the same page.
You're on the same page?
I'm on the same page.
All right.
All
See,
right.
look at this fun. You're learning so
right?
much.
I know.
All right. The next one, number 6, is The Hateful Eight. And this is a Quentin Tarantino movie. And it was, I remember talking to people, and you either loved this movie or you hated this movie. Because it was very violent, and that's Quentin Tarantino.
Right.
But it was quirky. And this one also starred Kurt Russell, along with Samuel L. Jackson and Jennifer Jason Leigh. But Quentin Tarantino had the movie a couple of years ago with Brad Pitt about California. Can't think of the name of it right off the top of my head.
Jackie, you're asking the wrong person.
I know. I'm just bouncing it
off
ideas.
Of you. Yeah. Oh goodness.
But Quentin Tarantino is a great director, and he made Django Unchained, and I wish I could think of that movie with Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio because it just came out a couple of years ago, but it's escaped me right now. But anyway, Hateful Eight, great Western. Look it up, watch it. It's fun, violent. All right, number 5.
Number 5.
Hell or High Water. Now, this stars some people you would probably know.
This one sounds familiar to me.
Chris Pine, Ben Foster, and Katie Mixon.
Okay, those are familiar names.
Jeff Bridges is a lawman. He's trying to get the goods on 2 brothers, played by Chris Pine and Ben Foster. And Katie Mixon, who has a TV series now called American Housewife.
Yes.
This was the first time I had ever seen her, and she's a waitress who gets kind of involved in this whole mashup, and she impressed me so much. I thought she'd even get an Oscar nomination as Best Supporting Actress. She was so good in that film. First time I ever saw Katie Mixon. I really am a fan of hers. All right, number 4. And this is the classic. This is my, The Searchers. This was a movie directed by John Ford, who was a classic film director way back in the day, way before.
This is 1956?
Yeah.
Is that what that says?
Yeah, it's all that time. And that was John Wayne again. Natalie Wood, who was in West Side Story and different movies. She died a tragic death, drowned. She was a child actress in this film. And Jeffrey Hunter was in it, and Ward Bond. These are names that don't mean anything to you.
Correct.
But this is the classic Western.
Okay.
All right, number 3.
Number 3.
Rio Bravo. Gosh, I love this movie. This is just a typical Western. Bad guys are going to come in, have a shootout with law enforcement. All the townspeople run. And John Wayne, and he has a drunken deputy assistant played by Dean Martin. He has a roving cowboy played by Rick Nelson, and then Walter Brennan. That name doesn't mean a thing to you, but he made his career playing these, old grumpy characters, but he was great in this. And then the female lead was Angie Dickinson, who was terrific. This is just a great, great movie, Rio Bravo. Then what I probably at most times would have said was my favorite movie, number 2, is High Noon.
High Noon, okay.
Gary Cooper, carrying on the family name. Grace Kelly, the actress who married the Prince of Monaco.
Okay.
All right. It was a big thing. She was an actress from Philadelphia family, and she became the Princess of Monaco.
Fun fact of the day for me.
Yeah. And it was just a big thing. But Grace Kelly and Gary Cooper are in this movie. He's the marshal. A group of people outlaws are coming into town at high noon, 12 o'clock, and everybody runs, and nobody's there to help him. And it had a great soundtrack by a composer named Dmitri Tiomkin. The song "Do Not Forsake Me, Oh My Darling."
Not familiar.
Not familiar, but oh gosh, it's "Do Not Forsake Me, Oh My Darling."
Disappoint you every day.
It was on their wedding day. On this our wedding day.
No.
And then Wait Along, High Noon. It's just great. Then number 1.
Number one, here we go.
And nobody's going to even know what this movie is. It was called Unforgiven.
Okay.
Now, there was later a movie with Clint Eastwood called Unforgiven, which a lot of people love. But this one's called The Unforgiven.
Okay.
And it came out in 1960, so 61 years
Still
ago.
Before my time.
It starred Audrey Hepburn and Burt Lancaster and Audie Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Audie Murphy, here's a little information.
Okay.
Audie Murphy was the most decorated soldier in World War II. I think I've got that right.
Okay.
And after the war was over, he got his, this is strange, he played himself in the Audie Murphy story. Okay. They made a movie out of it. But then he began to get acting roles, and he's in this movie. And this is about a young woman played by Audrey Hepburn who had played princesses and all these refined parts. But she is a Western. She's on a ranch. She has been told, you know, she was adopted. But she has a brother played by Burt Lancaster, and come to find out she had been she was a Kiowa, an Indian child, and so the townspeople, you know, are outraged. This was a time when there was such, you know, enmity between, you know, the Indians and the rest, the white culture that had moved in. And so there's this big thing. The Kiowa want to reclaim her. And so there's a battle. But it's a romance, it's a drama, it's got everything. I just love
Has all the elements, right?
All the elements are there.
Yeah.
Things that I still look for today. But that's my number one film, Unforgiven.
All right.
So I've got my list.
You got your list. Now, Jackie, tell me from this list, and don't pick number one, which movie, since I haven't seen any of them, which one should I watch?
Which one should you watch?
Yeah. What do you recommend for me?
All right. Rio Bravo.
All right.
Rio Bravo.
I'll give it a watch.
Rio Bravo is just an entertaining movie with just such outstanding characters. All right. There will be a test.
Okay, there will be a test. I need to study up.
I'll give you
a week?
A month.
A month. Okay, that even
to
better.
watch Rio Bravo, and then we'll get a report back.
All right, and then I'll give a review on it.
Yeah, see that.
Oh
my gosh, a John Wayne movie
by
boy. Amber.
Oh,
that should be a viewpoint.
Okay.
All right, but today, that's my top 10 list of my favorite Westerns, and this has been Jackie K. Cooper here with
AG the Intern.